that moment of time when real estate is kind of the next direction? You mentioned that you were getting laid off, I
Oh,
believe.
yes. So I got let go of Heidelberg. Yeah. So I really wanted to quit Heidelberg Distributing. I looked probably solid for a year while I was in management, and just no doors were opening. So I figured that was just God saying you're going to stay put here. So during that 3 year process, within that time period, we ended up doing Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. So we had 6 months worth of expenses. So literally, I could have no job, and 6 months later, we'd still be okay in theory, right? So um, when when that week that I got let go happened, um, I called my wife and said, "This is what happened," and she was so calm and so reserved, and she said, "That's okay. Now you can start your cleaning company, and we have 6 months worth of expenses." So I always saw my dad as an entrepreneur, and then when I started in sales at Heidelberg, um, I always said to myself, well, "There's one day in Las Vegas where I was drinking with him in the pool." And thinking to myself, my dad has got this situation for us from owning his own business, doing hard work that nobody else is willing to do. Because if you want to be a business owner, you have to work from 7 in the morning till 7:30 at night, because that's what I saw, 6 days a week. Um, and then I said to myself, well, I could do that. I could just be a cleaner, because my very first job ever was a dishwasher. So I said, I know how to do that. I don't have to be a brain surgeon to know that if you wipe something, the dirty is gone. And now there's clean, and now it reveals all the dirty. Make sure all the dirty's gone, and then the job's done. Simple. So in my mind, I said, I'm going to start my own cleaning company. I got to have my own pool someday so that I can sit in my pool and think, this is because I own businesses. Well, Salesman of the Year started to happen. So I didn't get it the first year that it came out, but I said, well, I've got to get Salesman of the Year. And then I ended up getting it, and not getting it the next year, but then getting it again, and then getting it again the following year. So back to back years on quota items, which I think is pretty sweet. So there's always something that kept pulling me away from that vision of having my own business. Um, but then when the day came that, hey, I've got 6 months worth of try something, and so that day I got let go. I went to the library, stayed in the library, figured out what I needed to do to get unemployment, and then I got unemployment, which made me tear up and cry, because I realized that was them, the government, saying I didn't let go for a reason. There was no reason, so it was
Right.
unjustified. But yeah, for being with the company for 13 years, it was like being dumped out into the deep end, and then now I'm going to become a business owner, right? So about 3 weeks into the cleaning company, my wife was talking about me behind my back, and didn't like me working with the chemicals. So her mom, or sorry, grandma, ended up saying, well, my brother-in-law was a real estate agent. Logan would be a good one. And she paid for me to go to real estate school at Hondros. So the $1,500 for that, in the 3 weeks straight, because I had the time to do it. 3 weeks later, I've got the test scheduled. So it just seems like for the last 7 years, like it's just been, I don't know what's next. Whatever is next is next. And then I tackle it or accomplish it with the highest level of fiduciary care and concern. I drink the Kool-Aid, so I would have probably never left my dad's, but I did. And then Heidelberg, probably, you know, if I was still drinking, I probably would have wanted to be there forever. It was a great company. But yeah, so now I'm just kind of floating around doing what God wants me to do. And honestly, John, it's like the market has changed so much that, in 2018, I sold 35 houses. And now Zillow says I've sold 9 in the last 12 months. So, I mean, it's a different world out there,
Yeah.
compared to when I first started. So at least now I can say I've seen two different markets,
Yeah.
high interest
Definitely.
rate markets and low.
Yeah, and definitely want to touch on that here in a second. When you got into the business, it was just that, right? Like, just, hey, I think you'd be good at it, and I paid for your classes, and here's just the kind of the next thing. You didn't really have. Did you have an interest in real estate at all? Like, was it on your
Uh,
radar?
Yeah, so I found an old journal that I had bought. I usually do those like Lexington 1970, whatever those are. I found an old one, and it was while I was at Heidelberg, probably daydreaming about owning cleaning company, I wrote down in that research how to become a realtor. And I spelled realtor wrong. I spelled it, oh, I totally botched it. But then underneath that, it says, looked into it, decided it's too difficult. I don't remember the year, but I said, oh, okay, I guess I didn't remember any of that. I didn't remember writing it down but there it was. And now I'm reading it. And here I am, a real estate agent reading it. I thought that was really cool. So no, it wasn't on my radar.